I want to start out by saying that this is a beautiful body. It is strong, it is capable, it was intentionally designed, and I am so grateful for it. And I'm coming at this from a place of respect and from wanting to live into my God-given potential. But I personally feel better at a slightly lower body fat percentage. Over the past year, I have been working insanely hard on putting on muscle, correcting some imbalances, and I am stronger than I have ever been before. But with gaining strength, a little bit of fat gain comes as well, and that can absolutely be healthy. But like I said, I feel personally a little bit better at a slightly lower body fat percentage. And I would really like to increase my strength to mass ratio for the sake of a few movements in particular. Number one, I have never been able to do a pull-up, and I am stronger than I've ever been before, especially when it comes to my back. But I know that if I'm a little bit lighter as a whole, and if I have less dead weight, we'll say, and more of my weight is actually working for me, it's gonna be a lot easier to do that. So that's a big goal for me. And also just with things like push-ups and dips, I know that I'm gonna be able to perform better at those movements if I am a little bit leaner. So over the next 12 weeks, my husband Samuel and I are going to be doing a shred. Now, I say shred tongue-in-cheek because I'm not gonna get so lean that a bodybuilder or a bikini competitor would consider me shredded. I do not think that's healthy. I know some people do that for a sport, and I'm passing no judgment on you, but I personally am not comfortable getting down to that point. In fact, I am not comfortable getting down past about 21% body fat. There are different ideas on what constitutes the ideal body fat percentage range for a woman for hormone health and fertility, but the general consensus, according to my research, is that 21% is safely about the bottom limit. About 20 to 21% to 25% tends to be ideal. And right now, I think I'm actually sitting just a little bit above that top end. And so I really do think that and getting a little bit leaner, I might actually see my hormone health improve because the more fat you have, the more estrogen your body is producing and holding on to. And while obviously estrogen is really important, having too much of it can lead to estrogen dominance. And one thing that I have not quite been able to shake since prioritizing this pro-metabolic lifestyle are very painful periods. They've definitely gotten better in the sense of like PMS symptoms, but the first 2 days of my period in particular tend to be pretty miserable in terms of cramps and nausea and just a number of different symptoms. So I'll be curious to see as my body fat percentage drops down a little bit if these symptoms get any better. To get started, we really need a baseline. So Samuel and I have taken our measurements, estimated our body fat percentage to the best of our ability, and I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you now. I am weighing in right now at 164 pounds. I am 5'7¾", so you can round up or down just depending on how you wanna look at it. And I tested my body fat percentage 2 different ways. I started with the InBody. According to the InBody, my body fat percentage is 29.8%, which I think could be just a little bit high, but it's probably relatively accurate. And then I also did a caliper test. I did a 3-point caliper test, which gave a much more realistic number than the 10-point caliper test we tried, just probably according to where I hold my body fat. And according to that, I came out to about 25% body fat, which again, I think is in a believable range. So we're going to guess that I am somewhere between 25 and 29% body fat, which again sits just above what I understand to be optimal for many women when it comes to hormone health and fertility. Now, as for Samuel, we actually don't have a scale. I weighed myself at work, so he hasn't weighed himself yet, but I will pop up his weight on the screen when I edit this video. He is 5'11", and we just did the caliper test on him, and it gave us a wildly inaccurate result. It was estimating that he was about 8% body fat. And if you look at a chart of different body fat percentages, there is just absolutely no way that that is the case. And he certainly would not need to get any leaner, or it wouldn't be appropriate for him to get any leaner if he were that lean. When you look at a chart, which can honestly be one of the best ways to actually estimate body fat percentage of a given person at different body fat percentages, he is most likely about 15 to 16% body fat. So we're gonna consider that his baseline. Let's talk talk plan of attack. So obviously, if we're going to lose weight in any form, lose fat in this case, we're going to need to be eating at a deficit. So we're gonna start out at about 500 calories below our respective total daily energy expenditures. That's about a 1 pound per week rate of weight loss. And as we get deeper into the cut, we might go down to about 750 calories below our total daily energy expenditure. That being said, we need to be really careful about getting enough protein so that we lose fat but as little muscle as possible. And so I'm going to be starting with eating about 164 grams of protein a day, at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then as I get deeper into the cut, I'm actually going to start eating more protein, at least relative to my body weight at the time, because the leaner you get, the more protein you have to eat to hold on to muscle, just due to kind of a metabolic response. So that is a really good tip, something to absolutely bear in mind. And if you ever found yourself losing weight, but really losing mostly muscle, that could be a big part of it. Additionally, there are a few staples in particular that I want to prioritize. I want to be eating a raw carrot salad every day. I just want to be more diligent about this and use it as an opportunity to really focus in. But a raw carrot salad is going to be great for estrogen detox, and I find it really yummy and a great kind of base for a meal. There's nothing magic about it though. It's just a good way to get your insoluble fiber in a form that does not really upset your digestive system too much. So I'm going to be trying to do that every day. Going to be making sure I'm getting at least 4 ounces of liver every week. So I'm going to go ahead and get about 8 ounces of liver weekly. I'm going to cook that into some ground beef and season it whatever way I want to. And Samuel and I will kind of divvy that up throughout the week. And then we are also going to be really prioritizing adrenal cocktails, or at least I am. I'm not the best about that, but I want to make sure I'm getting enough potassium, sodium, and vitamin C. So going to be making sure to do at least 1 adrenal cocktail per day. And then of course there are all the basics. I'm not going to be compromising on any of those when it comes to not going to be doing coffee on an empty stomach, not going to be fasting long into the day. I will eat breakfast within about 30 minutes of waking up, eating every about 3 to 4 hours to help keep my blood sugar regulated, and then making sure that I'm not going to bed hungry, that I'm eating enough to regulate my blood sugar throughout the night. So all of those pro-metabolic staples, adhering to them, we're just doing so at a slight deficit, and that's what's really going to be key throughout this process. In terms of exercise, I'm going to be doing my typical 3 to 4 weightlifting sessions a week. Samuel will be doing the same. He'll probably even do more than that just based on his usual schedule. And then I'm also going to be adding in about 3 or 4 targeted cardio sessions. I'll still have about 2 rest days a week because those are going to be on some of the same days, but adding in cardio to a greater extent is going to allow me to eat more and still be at a deficit, which is just going to work better for my body. So remember that cardio is not evil. It's actually really good for you as long as you do it appropriately, as long as you are fueling your body enough and recovering well and just being intentional about how you are doing it. So that's the plan. Next week, I am going to be doing a full batch prep or meal prep video to kind of show you what the process of planning out our meals for maintaining lean muscle mass and losing fat looks like. But it's also going to be applicable to anyone, even if you are not wanting to lose fat. Some great ideas, hopefully, to incorporate into your routine. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm excited for you to be on this adventure with us. Until next time, bye y'all.